are you on? Is it Amy? Is it Wiener or Weiner? Or did I say correctly? I probably messed it up.
It's Winning.
Amy, are you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. How are
good.
you?
Good. Thanks. My last name
I'm
is,
sorry. How do you say your last name?
it's Winning.
Winning. Okay. You know, my screen shifted on me and I'm thinking, I know I saw Amy earlier and I was looking for your last name. So it's Amy Wiening. Amy,
Yeah.
I understand that you are part of Shirley's
Shirley.
team.
Yep.
Okay. So tell me, for all those that have not met you yet, how long have you been previously? Have you been with our previous company, our partnered company, Isogenics?
Yep.
Okay.
I did Isogenics probably 10 years ago.
Really?
And yeah. So it was
how
a long
long
time
were you,
ago.
you did it 10 years ago. How long did you stay with the system as far as taking it as a nutritional supplement?
I'd say maybe a couple years or a year. I wasn't so that was kind of my big thing with ER Shred, was just how much easier it is.
Okay. So let's go right to ER Shred. So this is interesting because I know Tony Escobar, Sean's father, is like, Bob, you can't reawaken the dead, or he has a saying like that. In other words, go for fresh blood, new people, and you're not going to get someone to come back. But I noticed, thinking about this with our ER Shred community, it's now 25,000, by the way, guys. That's unbelievable. Understand, when we took the site over, it was Sean's team site. It was like my team site, absolutely kind of like nothing going on, shoot a cannon off. There was nobody that was active. But that said, it was his old team site that was a little bit of everything. And he said, that's it. I'm going ER Shred. I'm changing it. We're going carnivore. I'm doing this. And if they don't like it, they can leave. So honestly, what we did is we opened it up to everybody within Isogenics. We allowed for everybody to take a look. And the idea is simply, we just want to basically raise awareness, and we invite everybody to take a look. And if it's not your cup of tea, that's okay. So here's the beautiful thing. I know people were leaving the group. We started at about 17,000, somewhere in that area. So people were falling out as they were coming in the initial, 6 months, year timeframe. We're now in this, I think, 21 months, right, Mimi? She can probably tell me. 21 months. We hit 25,000, which means we've grown at minimum at least 8,000 people in the last 21 months, which is crazy good. And that said, a lot of people, Amy, have come back to it because they were interested in what is this ER Shred, and it's easier. So sorry, Amy, where are you? Go back. Tell me how you came to ER Shred, and how did Shirley, did she get you started years ago?
So we have a few mutual friends that were in Isogenics, and I was not actually under Shirley. I was under another friend, but life, I had great success on Isogenics, specifically from a inflammation standpoint, and in that it just felt so much better. But it was just hard to live life for me that way. And so anyway, then of course, fast forward to beginning of April, and I just had I wasn't feeling good at all. I felt really old, and I just felt terrible. My joints hurt. I just felt like every single day, almost every day, I was taking Advil to try to knock the inflammation down. I wasn't sleeping. It was just everything. Now my pants, nothing fit. And I had seen Shirley posting, and some of my other friends had jumped on board. And I just finally said to Shirley, I can't take it anymore. I have to join up. Because I knew that a lot of it was an inflammation issue for me. So okay,
so it wasn't necessarily, was it a weight issue as well, or was it just plain bloated? What was your main objective? What was your outcome that you were looking for?
I think because I had done Isogenics before, I knew that I could knock that inflammation down. And so that's what I was really hoping to do. But and of course, weight. I needed to lose weight badly. I'm not exactly sure where I want to end up. I feel like it's a kind of a moving target right now, just because I'm like, well, I'm just going to go 5 more pounds and see how I feel there. Or, I'm not exactly sure where my body
So
wants
how
to
long,
go.
how long have you started? When did you start the ER Shred? How long?
I started April 4th.
Okay. So rather recent then.
Yep.
And just so people understand, you started with the original 11-day protocol. How did you stay with the system? Have you modified it? Are you on that journey of awareness?
I
How have
did.
you utilized?
So I guess it was so easy for me to do the shred.
Mhm.
And I had such great success in that first 11 days. I decided to do a back-to-back shred.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, it just was not hard. I just was not hard. So I just
Now,
decided
this
to,
is the crazy good thing. So I have to ask you this. I know whose team you're on with Nicola and so on, and ultimately it's Peter Greenlaw. So he's Mr. 2-Day. Were you doing 2-day nutritional fasts in the past?
I tried.
Okay. So it was something that you tried, but it wasn't something that you were super successful with in the
Not very
past doing a
successful.
2-day. What was your expectation going back in with ER Shred and doing the 2-day? Was it kind of like wait and see how I feel?
Yeah, I thought so that the very first 2-day was I just planned to be super busy because I knew that was probably my best game plan, was just to pack my day with appointments so that I wouldn't have an opportunity to cheat. But then when Shirley had kind of coached us to do the collagen on those days. And that was, at the end of the first day, that's what I said to the group, this is a game changer. And so as a matter of fact, like today, I'm actually on a cleanse day, and it hasn't even been an issue at all, an issue.
So is this day one for you?
Yep, day one.
Awesome.
And day 2 is always easier. Day 1's always kind of the challenge. So
you jumped right to it. That's fantastic.
yeah.
So for those that have never done a nutritional fast or 2 days, what you're finding is that the second day is much, much easier than the first day.
Yep.
And how do you feel today, right now?
I feel great. I worked out this morning. I lifted. Since I worked out in the morning, I felt like I still had plenty of gas in the tank to work out. I won't work out tomorrow, probably. I might I'll just stay busy tomorrow.
And that's a great thing to bring up. I mean, it's obviously for everyone to figure out what works best for them, but understand, just so for you people, detoxing is hard work and your body needs to rest. And the thing is that if you overstress it and you're taking in less nutrition, that produces cortisol in your body. And if you produce too much stress or cortisol hormone, it will actually stop your body from burning fat. It's kind of one of those crazy, you got to find that balance. So as you're doing it, obviously you started right off the bat, said, okay, I've got some extra fuel in the tank to burn. But that's what's interesting. Even doing that, you feel really good today.
Yep.
Because some people would fall off the cliff and say, I'm toast, because you overdid it in the morning. That's fantastic. Well, I know Sean, and I apologize because I'm new. I don't have the 5 questions or how Heather's done it, but I know he often loves to start off with, and then you'll say, Amy, okay, you've met Shirley, you were in Isogenics beforehand. Who is Amy? Where are you from? And what's your passion?
Well, so I live in Bozeman, Montana.
Okay.
And I am in the process of raising 2 beautiful teenage daughters. One's graduating this year and headed to New Mexico State University next fall, and she's going to be on their rodeo team. So that is our focus, is launching the children.
I'm kind of on my second version. My stepdaughter is just now graduating, and she's going to University of Miami next fall. And so it's my daughter, she's out of school, so that's a good thing. And then I've got a 16-year-old. So I'm right there with you.
Yep.
2 teenage girls. It's fun. It is fun. It is fun. You're right, though. It's kind of like you're excited for them and you want them to kind of move on. What is your passion? What do you do for a living?
So here in Bozeman, I sell real estate.
Okay.
And my other passions, I guess, are we do a lot of rodeo. We spend every weekend on the road rodeoing. And my husband has his own business, so I support him in that. And when we get too hot, we go fishing.
Okay. So the good news is I came from the north, but I did live in Texas for 10 years and got well entrenched into rodeo and would go to the Houston stock
Oh
player
yeah.
show big time. And that was like crazy, like George Strait playing at the Astrodome. And anyway, rodeos are a lot of fun. It takes a lot of energy. So outside of yourself using the products, does your husband utilize the products at all in any way?
Yeah, yep. Everybody, not as, so nobody else in the family really is as focused on it as I am, but actually my husband's doing this shred with me.
Nice.
So yeah, and my daughter uses the shakes every morning. So
Perfect. So what was it like for you? You know, previously we would do 400 to 600 calorie meal, and the good news is you could split it in two, but it had to be balanced. And everyone's like, how much do I eat, etc. How easy was it for you with the ER shred as far
so
as
that
following?
was, yeah, that was the that, I mean, that just totally made it. So I like protein. I get the protein thing. We raise our own beef, and we we do a lot of hunting and fishing, and we have chicken. We don't have chickens, but my nieces have chickens, so we have access to just really good, clean protein. And so it was just really effortless to knock out all the carbs and just have the protein.
Lo que voy a hacer es mocharlo.
I think you're muted.
I did. Here I'm muting everybody, and I muted myself in the process. Okay. I was just looking for microphones that were on, like mute.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we got rid of the background noise. So your husband is going to join you with this upcoming shred. You're going to start Monday?
We started last Monday. So we're actually
Okay.
doing our first cleanse day today.
Awesome. And so you're from Montana, so I'm assuming carnivore, that's not a big deal for you to get used to?
Right. Easy. Super easy. Yep.
Okay. It's amazing. I actually watched a podcast I was telling Sean with the Liver King, and it was like an hour, 15, 20-minute podcast, which I've never seen that length, but he went into his whole backstory and how he came to become the Liver King and so on. And it's very, very interesting, but it's a lot of awareness. It's kind of like the stuff when Sean told me, hey, you're eating nothing but red meat. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, my doctor said no red meat. And it took me a while. It took me a couple of weeks. I was terrified. I let Randy and Tony Escobar go first, and then called them up to get Tony's opinion on it. So when you do this, are you really strict with the program as far as just red meat? Do you add anything else to the like salmon, or do you stick with red meat?
So just because that's what we have in the freezer right now is red meat. That has been what I've been eating. So that's just what we have readily available. And I really struggle to buy meat since we have so much of it in the freezer. So,
hey, I'm very jealous because, I wish I don't have the room to have a big freezer, and I don't have it stocked in Chicago. Actually, Chicago used to be the meat capital. I don't think it's even here anymore as far as this, the butchers and, the whatever they had. So anyway,
yeah.
Your situation now, so you've done one ER shred, you're on your second one. You mentioned to me that you were kind of just now on that journey of discovery, like we'll wait and see. What have you noticed different in terms of how you feel?
Well, so the inflammation, I think that the thing that is so encouraging about the ER shred is that there's a huge win, at least for me. There with Isogenics, and then now with ER shred, I had a huge win within just a few days of starting the program, of knocking that inflammation down and getting to see and just feeling so much better just in such a short period of time. And so it really kind of gave me the fueled the fire to stay focused and keep with it. So to date though, I just jotted down a couple things. So I'm down 18 pounds since April 4th.
Wow.
I'm not, so I was taking Advil almost every single day because my joints hurt. And I don't take Advil As a matter of fact, I mean, I just don't ever take it anymore. I didn't even realize I wasn't taking it. And then I just kind of one day was like, oh, I'm not taking Advil. So I don't take Advil anymore. I was really having a hard time with my hands falling asleep, doing just simple tasks, driving, brushing my teeth, sleeping. Of course, they always would fall asleep when I was sleeping. And they would wake up, and when I would wake up, it'd be so painful. And so that my hands are not falling asleep. So that's really awesome for me. And I'm sleeping better. That's a big one too. I was really fighting sleeping. I feel like I'm always trying to trick sleep into being my friend. So.
Was it hard to get your husband to join you the second shred? What do you think it was the first shred that
So my
attracted
husband's
him?
kind of a lean, mean fighting machine. So
Already? Okay.
yeah, he's like, you mean we're just gonna eat meat? No problem.
That's easy. Incubating the shakes, that's something that's been different for you. How do you think, what an opinion on that anyway?
It's no problem. So what I do is I make 2 shakes in the morning.
Mhm.
And then I'll just have, after when I'm ready for the first one, and then I just put the second one in the fridge. My trick is 8 ounces of cold water and 8 ounces of hot coffee.
Wow.
And I use a combination of chocolate and vanilla.
Okay, so do you let it incubate first, then you add the coffee after?
So so that's how I'm warming up. So I don't use my hot water out of my tap because it's has water softener in it. And so
I gotcha.
I'm warming it up. I'm using that as my warming agent, is my coffee,
Okay.
but maybe I shouldn't be doing it that way.
Try it. Just try it, because that's what
Okay.
I like. What Sean says is, hey, it's all about awareness and see how it works. There's
Okay.
a science reason why you want to use the filtered water and let it sit with the water only. But then if
Okay.
you want to add the coffee after that, go for it. I mean,
Okay.
that's totally fine. Now that I've been in this 21 months, sometimes I add greens, sometimes I add Ionic Supreme. I've done it with the coffee. But I just kind of do what you do. I incubate the shake first, fully incubate it, and then I just use it as I need it. But
Yeah.
most important is convenience. And so I love the fact that I just kind of make the shakes in the morning, and then I just go to it, and you got to drink it within 12 hours, I think. And that's all. So,
Yeah.
is there anything that you would share with anybody who's watching tonight that is on the fence or thinking about it as far as joining?
Well, I would just say that you get a big win right out of the gate, which is just so encouraging. And it's when you get that big win, I feel like it's easy to just keep sticking to it and keep reaching for new goals. I mean, I didn't even know what my first goals were really going to be. And my first shred blew me out of the water with how much better I felt. Just everything. It was just such a big win. It was easy to stick to it, The other thing I guess I would say is that Shirley has done a really nice job of building ER Shred community with each shred that we're doing. She just asks whoever wants to be part of that, and that is awesome. So this is my second group that I'm in, and I look forward to my phone dinging all the time and seeing what everybody. It's really encouraging to stay together with everyone.
That's wonderful. Yeah, community is key. So are you active in the Facebook group? I'm assuming you
Oh
are.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I've seen your posts.
Oh yeah.
So that's, I think, the biggest asset. Jesse's correct in terms of the community is everything, I think, for long term. And I think we do have a kick-ass, excuse my language, group here. And it's crazy because the longer your body is healing, the longer you stay with this, the better you're going to feel. And I think that's the hardest for me to articulate is I'm in it for 21 months. What's the difference? And I'm thinking, oh my God, I feel so much better now than I did last year. It's hard to even quantify, but I didn't realize how bad I felt before ER Shred. So anyway, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I hope you will share it forward if people ask. And thank you for being, as Sean would say, a hero, for coming on. You actually are a superhero. And honestly, it's this call tonight that it literally is the lifeblood for our community. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's these stories, testimonials that get people excited and they see something in themselves. And this is how we've been growing. So thank you again. Is there anything else
Thanks
you'd
for
like to
having
add?
me. Well, I was just gonna say, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. And I